Hi everyone, welcome to the Wanders and Wonders channel. This is the third video on my Africa trip and it will be about the marketplaces in Douala and Cameroon. I went to visit the main market in Lome the second day I arrived. My trip was during August, which is the rainy season in Togo, and businesses were generally low. There were lots of children running around since they were having summer break, and many of them were carrying on products and helping with the shops. According to my dad, the market was a lot less crowded than the ones he saw in Ghana. In the marketplace, the roads were all made of packed sand. Cars are able to drive into the streets, but there were no lanes or traffic lights. It was quite chaotic since there were people, motorcycles, and cars in the same lane at the same time. You can hear continuous honkings of drivers trying to warn pedestrians of their presence. Despite the traffic conditions, no accidents happened while I was there. The shops in the market were grouped based on the different products they sell. For example, certain streets were full of shops that sold enamelware, and others had shops that sold food. These shops were a line of side-by-side small stall-like stores on both sides of the street. Boxes of products were stacked on the ground and shelves in the shops, and there were many samples on the boxes. The shops were not particularly well lit, and the owners of the shops or their workers typically sit outside in front of the shop. If you walk up to them and ask about their products, they will show you the samples that they have and discuss prices with you. The markets in Douala was very different. The ones I went to had cement roads and shops of different sizes. One market has shops that focus on selling large amounts of custom-made products. Some of these shops were larger than the ones in Lome and had more lights. The other Douala market I went to is comprised of many smaller shops along the road. Unlike Lome, the road has lanes drawn with traffic lights and pavement. However, due to the large amounts of people visiting the shops, the road was still very crowded. It had rained before we went to the market, so there was a lot of mud on the side of the street and in front of the shops. In the middle of the groups of shops, some multi-story buildings were half-built and left undone due to funding problems. These buildings were built to open more shops selling similar products so merchants who come to visit or find business partners can navigate through different stores easily. In addition to the large amounts of custom-made products, the businesses in the market also sell pre-made items in small amounts for people who are coming here to buy for daily use. These businesses are mostly run by merchants who come from China. Due to high levels of competition for selling these cheaper, smaller amounts of products, these merchants moved to Cameroon to look for a new market. The people who started their business in Cameroon started to make profits, which attracted more merchants from China to open stores here. Other than the shops, on the pavement space outside the line of the shops were street vendors selling clothes, shoes, and bags. These products had huge logos of pavement brands, with majority of them being Disney and Balenciaga. They were obviously fake, and to my surprise, there were numerous people selling clothes like. Usually, people picture a bustling and chaotic space filled with vendors with their goods spread out on a blanket or a cart when a market is mentioned. However, the markets I saw had stalls that were established places with concrete walls and floors and electric wiring. They are opened by companies that have their factories elsewhere and are looking for businessmen for mass imports and exports. They have sample products out for foreign visitors to see and have spaces designated for negotiating prices and setting up partnership with the foreign visitors. The markets were completely different from anything I imagined, and it was an eye-opening experience for me.